Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So if you remember this variety of succulent that was not in its best shape, and initially I didn't know what variety of succulent it is. But now that it is starting to get a little bit better, I think it could be Echeveria Dusty Rose, but again I'm not very sure because it still has to grow. But this is how it tend to look when I had initially got it, because it was completely messed up. There was a lot of stretching. It was not in a very good shape. The entire succulent lacked the uniformity. It did not have a very uniform shape. And as I said, that I will be exposing it to direct morning sunlight very slow. But this portion, when you're looking at this succulent, when you're looking at this clip, the succulent was kept in indirect bright light because it was recently purchased, and then I had to do a slow introduction. But at least for a week or so I had kept it in indirect bright light under a green shade cloth, and then I started doing the slow introduction, which is first day I started with 30 minutes. I got it back to the indirect bright light. Then again, the next day I went ahead and kept it for 1 hour. I got it back. Next day it was 1 hour 30 minutes. Got it back. Then next day it was 2 hours. Got it back. So I continued doing this for almost a week or so. I continued to acclimate it, and then finally this is how the succulent tends to look like. You can see now it has completely got acclimated to direct morning sunlight. So now it is getting morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours after the acclimation process. The acclimation process was very slow because I was very scared. It was a very fragile succulent at that point of time. So I had to be very careful that I do not burn the succulent. So after a week or so of doing this back and forth and acclimating it to direct sunlight, this is how the final result looks like. Now, of course, the succulent is still very small. It has not grown. It is not a mother plant yet. It is almost smaller than a medium size, so it is going to take a longer time. As I said, it resembles a lot like Dusty Rose, but again I'm not very sure. It's little confusing between Dusty Rose and Echeveria PVN. Probably it could be PVN as well, but time will let us know. As of now, it is little difficult to understand what exact variety it is. So now it is being kept in direct morning sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Watering is the normal watering whenever the soil tends to get bone dry. Now definitely the succulent is a little lower in the pot, because initially when I had placed it, the soil was almost up to the brim, but because it is a very sandy soil, when you tend to water, the soil tends to reduce down. But right now I'm just going to let it be as it is, because it is still getting used to the new environment. It is starting to grow slowly, but as and when it is going to grow a little bit more bigger, I will definitely do a transplant from one pot to another. But most probably what I'm going to do is I will be doing a stem cutting, because I want to keep the main stem in this pot itself. It's doing quite well. I'm going to cut off the stem cutting because they already are of around 4 centimeters in diameter, so I can definitely put them in another pot. So rather than doing a repotting, I better do a stem cutting. But again, I will do that on the later process, not now, because I still want it to grow a little bit more bigger. So as you can see how much of difference the light can do to your succulent, but there is a process for that. Just because you want your succulent to look pretty doesn't mean that you're going to put it out in direct sunlight. You have to do that slow and gradual introduction. Only then you will be able to have a succulent that is free from any kind of burns or figure. The succulent, it is going to completely destroy your succulent. So always ensure that you do a very slow introduction to morning direct sunlight. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.